What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Red Zone Fiends. I am Josh. This is Frank, as always. And week one, baby. We got your week one bets. Pretty solid bets for you guys. Here we go. What do you got, Frank?
So for this week, I'm going to end up doing a 6-point teaser. 50 to win, 130. Let's get into it. So the first leg I have is going to be Jacksonville +1 versus the Indianapolis Colts. Lawrence is going to go over 200 yards and 280 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Nice.
Then I got San Francisco +3.5 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers offense, they're just not good enough to put up more than 17 on this 49ers defense led by the highly paid Nick Bosa.
Yep.
Then I got Bengals +4.5 at Cleveland Browns. Look, I know it's a division game and everything, but you can't deny Joe Burrow. He's not going to lose, and if he does, I don't see it more by a field goal. I got it 24-17 Bengals. Then that's going to do it.
All right, so this is what I got for you guys. I got, well, first off, I don't like to do too much, just me, myself, on week one, overs and, minuses, just in my opinion, So because it is week one, everybody starts off a little bit rusty. So I like to just do who I think is going to win, and these are the 3 teams that I'm pretty confident that we're going to get the, yeah. So I got a 3-team parlay. I got the Eagles beating the Patriots. I got the Commanders winning, and I also got the Ravens beating the Texans. Now, the minus 450 on the Ravens. We got minus 200 on the Eagles, and I want to say about minus 240 on the Commanders. But if we just put them all together, these 3 for sure wins. To me, this is what I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this one.
That's right. Sounds
you
good
put them
to me.
together, yeah. You put them together, you get a plus 138. So this week I'm gonna put my $50 for that plus 138, and I'm gonna get 69 back. So yeah, that's what I got for my week one.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Other than that, yeah, I kind of want to transition over a little bit to that Thursday night football game. What did you think about that game?
Man, well, I'll tell you the truth. I took Kansas City and the Saints, or not the Saints, I'm sorry, the Lions to go over, score a bunch of points, shootouts or whatever. Then after that news with Travis Kelce, and it was a hyperextended knee.
Yeah, it was a hyperextended knee. A little ACL scare for a little bit, actually, but it was just a hyperextended knee.
Yeah, so that completely changed the game. I think it went down. It was when I first put it down earlier in that week, earlier in the week, it was at +6 for Detroit, and it was over 55. And as soon as that news came out, it went the other way. I seen it as low as 4.5, or +4.5 for Detroit, and then it went down from 55.5 to, like, I seen it at, was it 48, 49?
Yeah.
I think 48, 49.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, it was 52. I'm sorry, I take that parlay. That's why it was so low. But I think it was like 53.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It was 53.
Yeah. So, but just his absence alone shifted a lot of the game, and that's how it happens.
Well, you lose Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes' biggest target. So one, that's going to be different for Patrick Mahomes, and then 2, that kind of what Travis Kelce does is he opens up a lot of receivers on one-on-ones. Yeah. So it kind of changed the game a little bit for that as well.
Those receivers played horrible. Darius Toney, come on, man.
Come
on, dude.
Yeah, I don't like the Chiefs, but I kind of followed Kadarius Toney for a while, man, and I was happy for him, with the success in Kansas City. But man, he played horrible.
Man, was it him with that pick six?
Yes, he dropped that right through his hands.
Mitts,
right there, he dropped that pick six.
Perfect dime. And I had Patrick Mahomes. So thanks a lot, Kadarius Toney, for giving me negative points for that pick 6 on Mahomes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so if you did start Kadarius Toney, you need help with your fantasy team. Keep an eye on us because we're here to help you. You shouldn't have started Kadarius Toney in the first place. Kind of got what you got. I'm going to be a little ruthless here. But unless you're in like an 18-man league or something, if that's possible,
you definitely don't roll the dice with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick up Rice now.
Yeah, I have him on my bench. I don't know how much. I didn't get a chance to look, but I know last time I checked, he had like 11 points. He had like a catch, like 1 or 2 catches and a touchdown for like 30 yards.
Yeah, so on standard it was about 8 points, I believe, around 8 points, and then on PPR Yeah, it's about what you just
That's
said.
what he ended up with. Was 8 points.
Yeah, in standard league it was
okay.
it was just over 8 points. So not too bad for standard. You know, if you needed to fill somebody in real quick, I would suggest him over Kadarius Toney.
Well, on top of that is that how much longer does Tony have as a starter? At what point do you say, you know what, let's go ahead and put Rice in, and he performed, decently. I mean, not the best. I mean, I think everybody pretty much knows that those receivers cost Mahomes that game.
Yes.
And the Kansas City Chiefs that game.
Yeah.
Their defense played great without big man
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, yeah, big man Chris Jones on a contract dispute. So shout out to that defense, man. Held them pretty good. Detroit was supposed to be a explosive offense, but it looked to me like they were pressuring Goff pretty good. But the only thing that worried me was that one-on-one with Monroe St. Brown.
Yeah.
But hey, they didn't blanket him, but you know, they hold them to 21, an explosive offense. You figure last year they were scoring about 30 points a game, 28, 30 points a game.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people did, you know, maybe teaser bets like how we did on that Thursday game. We suggested that teaser bet. I mean, who would have thought, you know, that game was going to go that low? I don't personally like betting on Thursday night games because every single game is so low scoring. All the players are tired.
It throws the whole thing out of whack.
Yes, it throws the whole rhythm off. So, and also a huge factor in it was kind of how, like I mentioned about betting on week one games, is offenses are rusty. You got a lot of new players on offense, a lot of new players on defense. Some teams have new coaches. You just don't know who's gonna win. You get a little, kind of based off of last year who might win. It's a whole new year. Yes, you get a little idea of who's going to win from last year. But week one, that's why it scares me to go over that. Over, under, or minus or plus. So I kind of rather just base that off of the last year for sure bets for me.
Yeah.
But, that game was it was a great game. It was a great defensive battle, man. I feel bad for Hutchinson, man.
He was held multiple times.
Yeah.
That freaking tackle, even last year, that's why Joey Bosa got pissed off during his game against him.
Yeah.
The guy starts up like a mile behind the yard of scrimmage, and then he's constantly moving before the snap.
Yeah.
It's at least a quarter of a second to half a second early.
Ooh.
That's big.
They say inches could win you a game. So does like milliseconds or, just a half a second getting off the ball earlier than the defensive lineman. That's a huge deal. To me, that's kind of more on the coaches. Like, hey, let's call it out.
Yeah, Hutchinson battled through though. He kept his motor was going, but the frustration. At what point do you say, "Come on, man, this is enough"? This guy, look at his tactic. You know, I know the NFL wants to protect quarterbacks and everything in the high scoring game and all this and that, but come on, man, keep the integrity of the game. If you don't want your quarterback to get hurt, don't throw 50 times, 40 times a game. 25, 35 max. If you can't win a football game like that, then that's your problem.
Okay, so just a couple quick questions. Real quick, I just want to throw in a little bit of fantasy. For your fantasy, who do you think is going to get the most points for quarterbacks
this week?
Yes, this week. Now that Patrick Mahomes is out of it, we could kind of have a,
You know what? I'll just eliminate some. Let's go ahead and eliminate Josh Allen playing against that stingy New York Jet defense. I don't think he might perform well, but I don't think. The Jets defense is legit. They're the Jets defense.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner over there. Their line is ridiculous. The front seven are ridiculously good. Plus, they got Aaron Rodgers coming back in. So, vice versa. Rodgers, I don't know about Rodgers either because he's playing the Buffalo Bills defense. It's always top 5, top 7 in the league.
Yeah.
The last couple of years. Actually, you know who I might think it might be is Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh,
you got me. You beat me to it. Yeah, I think he's gonna shred up that Houston defense.
Why not? You know what I mean? They're favored by 10.
Yeah.
They're gonna get torn up, but you just don't know if it's gonna be a rushing Lamar Jackson or if they're really gonna sit back. I think they emphasized on the pocket game this year.
Yeah, so. I wonder how that's gonna work out. I drafted Lamar Jackson for my fantasy team, so I'm hoping he is that number one guy this week. But it's gonna be interesting to see
He'll put up his numbers. I think he's gonna put up a lot of rushing. They're gonna try a lot of passing, whatever, but he's gonna feast this week.
Yeah,
so I think he'll have the best opportunity to put up the most points. So if you got him like Josh does, I'm on your team.
All right, let's go, Lamar. Okay.
What about running back situation? What you think about running backs?
Running backs. Okay, it's hard to go against McCaffrey. They are playing a somewhat solid Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, T.J. Watt over there.
Yeah, I just don't know how they're gonna throw in Mitchell as much, but man, it's just really hard to go. I mean,
throw out the big names and then we'll call them out. Like McCaffrey, how you think he's in? Plus or minus with him. What is his positive, negative? This is eliminate a couple of backs real quick.
Okay, so we got. I feel like Tony Pollard's gonna do really, really good this year. I feel like he's gonna have that Ezekiel Elliott rookie type of year. I read that coach said that Pollard's gonna have a huge role in this offense. Yeah. So he's gonna be that workhorse. So it's kind of hard to put McCaffrey past that, but they do have a tough game as well.
What about Derrick Henry going against New Orleans Saints? How you like that matchup?
Oh man, that Saints defense is gonna kind of stuff him, man. I
agree.
I feel like Henry's gonna be okay. I feel like he'll get at least his 80 yards, and he has a chance to score a touchdown
every week, in and out.
Yes.
Anytime they're in the 5, he's got a chance to score.
Yeah. So, but I just don't see him having that huge week 1 number 1 running back day. So, yeah. I probably would go ahead and take him out. And then who else do we got?
What about Eckler? Austin Eckler. I think they're going to end up playing against Chargers and
they are playing. Yes, Miami Dolphins. So
Xavier Howard.
I kind of
still playing over there.
If you got PPR, I kind of feel like he's going to do a great job on his first game. I feel like it's going to be a high scoring game. Defense. The Dolphins defense is actually pretty underrated. Mm-hmm. So they have some pretty good cornerbacks, I believe. Rams cornerback last year. Jalen Ramsey went to over there. They had Howard still over there, so I feel like they're going to try to run a little bit more. It might go to a shootout, but if it is a shootout, then Eckler can still get those little dump-off passes, man. He's a PPR machine.
So no matter what, he's going to be involved in the game.
Yeah, so he has a pretty
I like that matchup, too. I really do. He's going to be very – I do think it has potential to shoot and go into a shootout.
Yeah.
It really does.
Absolutely. So the under on that one is over 50 points, 51 points. 50 and a half, I believe. Yeah, for that over-under.
Have to tease that one too sometimes.
Yeah, so it could become a shootout, but like I said, it's so hard because it is week 1, it's so hard to kind of gamble on that for me. I'm just a little bit worried about it, but...
Yeah. Especially that Rams team, or not the Rams team, but the Dolphins team with Tua back.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to get the same Tua that you get at the beginning of the year, with the last year?
I hope he does. Because I have him on my standard league.
Do you think he's 100% from those concussions?
I do. I believe so, and I feel like the Dolphins are going to make that huge adjustment. I mean,
if he's 100%, then Eckler and then it does turn into a shootout, and I do see Eckler getting a lot of volume this week.
Yeah. So as for my running back of the week, I just simply got to go with McCaffrey, man. I feel like it is a tough Steelers defense, but Niners are tough too. They're going to be able to stop. They're going to be able to stop the Steelers. McCaffrey's going to get plenty of opportunities. He's a PPR machine as well. He's going to get a bunch of passes.
Dump off screens. He runs between the tackles. I think you know what? Tell you the truth, I think they're gonna rotate him out pretty good this year. I don't see him getting more than 15 to 17 carries a game. Tell you the truth, only because that on top of that, he's gonna get the small receptions, like 4 or 5 receptions. So I think those rushing attempts end up being receptions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
So you'll get a point in PPR, like you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, PPR beast as well. So
yeah,
we'll get more points.
We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, for sure. We'll see how they kind of start off because I don't know. To me, I feel like the Niners have no choice but to win this year.
Oh yeah, they have to.
They signed Boza. I mean, they ain't gonna sign no other players. This is it.
Yeah, I think they're in win now mode. But you know what? They still have Brock Purdy under contract for another couple his rookie contract. So. Yeah. I don't think he's going to get an extension this year. Maybe next year. If he performs well this year and they go back to the NFC Finals, then he might hold out for the following year. You never know.
Yeah. All right. One more. We got receivers. All right. Who's our guy? Who's the number one receiver this week?
Number one. I don't like the pick. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of this receiver, but due to the other matchups with Devontae Adams and the Broncos, and then you have all the big namers. Cooper Kupp just got hurt.
Yeah.
Jefferson. I don't know how teams are going to play him yet. They might, but I'm assuming he's getting doubled the whole time. They don't have Dalvin Cook no more, so I know he's going to get volume no matter what. But he's going to get doubled.
Yeah.
So I think out of Jamar Chase, I mean, yeah, I get it, but this player just makes more sense to me this week, I swear. But I'm gonna end up going with CeeDee Lamb and
oh wow, okay, all right, I like it.
So I think what's gonna end up happening is Dak has a point to prove. He wants to prove he's a big time player. So I know he struggled in camp and everything, but they have nobody else on that offense. They do have Tony Pollard, like you said, and he's gonna tear up in the run game too. So, but that's gonna open up play action, whatever, easy passes for Dak. Even Dak can't miss that. I know all you Cowboys fans don't like him, but Dak won't miss those open throws. So I see CeeDee Lamb going off this week. I think they're gonna emphasize getting the ball to him, making him the number one player, playmaker. So I'll end up saying a solid 130 yards with a touchdown this week.
All right, I like it. So I'm gonna go a little bit different. I think CeeDee's gonna have a good game. I agree with you. Maybe the week one best. I'm not sure. The top three receivers to me this week are going to be Justin Jefferson, Chase, and then I think the one who's going to score the most is Tyreek Hill, because more than likely we're going to see that huge shootout, and I feel like Tyreek Hill is going to get, I say, at least 8 catches. 8 catches, at least 150 yards, probably a touchdown. I'm gonna assume a touchdown. So, like you said about Justin Jefferson, the defense knows what's coming. Chase, Joe Burrow's not 100%, so I'm not ready to fully commit on him being the number one guy. So I feel like my last option and the right option is gonna be Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I do see him getting pretty good numbers this week. I really don't like CeeDee Lamb in the first round of fantasy. In the first round of fantasy leagues, he has yet. I mean, I get he has all the yards and everything, but he's performed at an elite level. But because of his matchup and everything, and I think that's the only reason why I picked him. But Hill's gonna perform. He's solid. The only problem I have with Hill though is I've had him the last 3 or 4 years in fantasy. He goes off, no doubt. Get you 30 points. I think last year he got me a couple 35 points or something like that. He had a real big game. He had 3 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, something like that, and 100 or 200 yards. But some weeks he only gets 60 yards.
Yeah, I see.
So it's a big time bust. So I'm not gonna say this week is gonna be a big time bust. The offensive line for that Dolphins team they're very sus to me.
Yeah.
Very suspect. I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
I know Chargers every year. There's a hype around the Chargers every year. But on paper, they still have a very good unit with Khalil Mack on one side and Joey Bosa on the other side. Then you got Derwin James in the playing safety back there. So they always have that defense. As soon as they put it together, gel and put everything together, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And the offensive line, I mean, they got some some new bodies, but I still don't trust them against that front, San Diego front.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. Yeah, that was their main issue last year. They're a whole different team without Tua and with Tua.
Yeah, very different.
Like I said, I got Tua. I got Hill on the same standard fantasy football league, so hopefully they do some damn damage this year.
All right, so let's go into let's go ahead and dig in. Even though everybody would have been known it was Travis Kelce, but what about tight ends? Let's think outside the box now.
Ooh,
who we got? You got Darren Waller, who's always dangerous, but I think he has a hamstring injury.
He does have a hamstring injury. I've just traded for Darren Waller already because I was shorthanded on tight ends. Yeah. I had to give something to get him.
When he's healthy, he does.
So, with George Kittle and Darren Waller being questionable this week, to me there has to be only one choice. It's Hawkinson, right?
I would think so. Hawkinson too.
You got Justin Jefferson taking a lot from the
all eyes on Jefferson.
Yeah, so I think Hawkinson's going to get a lot of opportunities this week. So I feel like he's going to be our number one tight end.
Good athlete, long, big. You know, can catch, run routes pretty good.
Somebody that might be right behind it to me is also Njoku from the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, actually, he finished pretty strong last year.
Yeah, he actually did, man. He was pretty solid last year with Deshaun Watson. So
early in his career, maybe I think his second year or third year into the NFL, I drafted him constantly. Always let me down. He had that big, high expectations and everything.
Yeah,
but he did not perform. But he started catching on strong last year, or at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Real good.
Yeah. So I one pick away from drafting him this year, so I didn't get fortunate. That's why I unfortunately had to trade for Darren Waller. But okay, one more. I got one more for you.
Well, real quick before we get into tight end, finish up tight end. What about Mark Andrews?
Ooh, Mark Andrews.
I don't want to forget about him. I thought you were going to say him, but you came out with Hawkinson, which still is a very good pick.
Yeah, so Mark Andrews is a very interesting one to me because I had him the last 2 years. So if we do get that passing Lamar Jackson, he's going to do some damage this week. He definitely has. Other than Hawkinson, I feel like he's going to have a big shot to be that tight end number one. He's probably the favorite now since Kelsey's out. The favorite probably.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the Ravens get so far ahead, I've seen them do it so many times this year. They pull them out or they start spreading the ball around, kill that clock. So I feel like that's kind of what I'm afraid of. He's still, before that to happen, I feel like he's still on a standard league. He'll get about 11 points, maybe a touchdown too. So maybe around 13, 14.
Yeah, I figure that passing Lamar. Yeah, but you're running Lamar because when you run that
opens up
play action.
Yes, that absolutely does.
And that's how he got big when Lamar came through because Lamar drew so much attention on those play actions and those read options that so he put up big numbers with Lamar.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Odell Beckham's actually going to play this week as well. So if Lamar kind of transitions more to a passing quarterback, Andrews has a very good chance of going. This is the week. Andrews has a very good chance of completely going off.
All right, and the last one.
That last one was which defense is going to put up the most points for us?
Which defense is going to put up the most points for us? Man.
You got mine. I got mine.
Man, it's hard. Go ahead and start with yours.
All right. I'll go ahead and start. All right, here we go. Give you a little bit of time, but I'm gonna go back to the Ravens. I mean, they're playing C.J. Stroud, man. He did not look too good.
Yeah.
He did not look too good. That guy is gonna be running for his life this Sunday. I predict at least 1 to 2 interceptions, maybe even a fumble. Man, they're gonna get to that quarterback quick. And he's going to have to play catch-up. He's going to have to play catch-up towards the end of the third quarter, the fourth quarter. Playing catch-up like that is going to cause mistakes. That Ravens defense is going to eat.
Yeah, you know what? With that being said, I'm thinking of all the matchups in my head right now. I wouldn't like any more. But if I couldn't choose Baltimore, if I couldn't tell you, I would probably go with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
So for
that would be my second.
The reason behind that one is obviously they're playing Pittsburgh. Second year quarterback or third year. I don't think they have enough weapons. I don't think they have enough. Najee Harris, another guy that he's a bell cow, but he's not a very good one. Let's be honest. But I don't think they have nearly enough offense to put up more than 17 points. I can see Kenny Pickett throwing a couple of interceptions, maybe 2.
Yeah.
I see them stuffing Najee Harris. I feel like they're going to stuff him, force a lot of third and longs. You got Fred Warner in there anchoring that defense. You have third and longs. That means you need time to throw the ball. And who just got cashed out? Nick Bosa. So.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, definitely.
I see 2 turnovers.
Yeah, I definitely think those are the top 2 defensive teams this week. So if you have them, you got it. You got a good amount of points this week. So that's about it. So hey, thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for tuning in to at REDZONefiens. Hit us up on TikTok if you like our stuff. We got couple of good shorts on there. We're gonna have a lot of fun this year.
Merch.
Really excited.
Merch. Don't forget about the merch. We got merch coming soon. We'll have it probably Sunday, hopefully when we go live this weekend. So you want to run down what's gonna happen on Sunday?
Yes.
What we're gonna be doing.
Yes, real quick for you guys. So Sunday morning.
Live, baby.
We're gonna go live, baby. We're gonna be live on TikTok. we're gonna be having a little bit of that red zone on
all day.
all day. We're gonna be
most of the day. We do have birthday party too. Shout out to happy early birthday to Kiana.
Happy
We'll
early
see
birthday
you this weekend.
Yeah, so
Big
we're gonna have a lot of fun. So join us live. Check us out. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We'll comment right back. Talk to you during the live. It should be a great time.
Yeah, all right. We'll go ahead and see you guys Sunday at 9, starting at 9 a.m.
All right, later, y'all.
Red Zone.